Okay guys, so today I want to discuss something that I find quite interesting, and that is the reason why I think 7-star units are going to be in OPTC and what units I think deserve them. Now this video is intended to be a part 1, it will only cover 2 of the units I think deserve 7-star versions. There will be more videos in the coming weeks that will discuss more of the units I think deserve it. I also have some other video ideas I'm working on right now that you can see on the screen. Hopefully they will be coming out very soon. I genuinely believe that all OPTC content should be clearable free to play. With that being said, I do have some ideas on how I would like to see something beyond 6 stars be implemented. I genuinely believe players should be rewarded for grinding, and there is the element of RNG in OPTC where you grind for books and you could still see no reward for that. I think that 7 stars would be a great opportunity to reward players for grinding. You get a unit and you have to grind and grind and grind until they are a 7-star and they are worth having in your team. Without further ado, here's the first unit I think should be a 7-star. Szabo is a major player in the Revolutionary Army, and when it came to Dressrosa, he was absolutely key to the story. Szabo in general hasn't had a great deal of screen time, so I could see why some people wouldn't want to give Szabo another new unit. However, we do have a situation where Szabo's best card, his 6-star unit, is not him with Ace's Devil Fruit. And I think it would be a big missed opportunity to never see that card, because one of the best fights in Dressrosa is Szabo versus Admiral Fujitora. There are currently 3 versions of Szabo in the game: his Kid card, his Legend card, and his Raid card. The only one of these cards I feel like actually does justice to the amount of damage we see Szabo do in Dressrosa is his Raid card. His Raid card can take a zombie team that has virtually no attack boost and turn it into a team capable of beating a training forest, just by adding on his own attack to each unit. That is how powerful he is, and that's how powerful he seems to be in Dressrosa. Szabo with Ace's Devil Fruit should be the embodiment of destruction. I'll go into a little bit of detail here about what stats and abilities I think he should have, but if you want a full breakdown, I'll put a link in the description that explains it a little bit better. For type, I think he should be Strength, and in order to keep him from being completely broken, his class should be Pure Freedom. For his Captain ability, I tried to mix his 6-star Captain ability with Ace's 6-star Captain ability. I still think he should be a Freedom booster, but I think he should have much more damage output. For his special, I thought it'd be nice to try and mix the Raid version special with the 6-star version special. Here's what I'd like his portrait to look like. I'll put it alongside his 6-star version for comparison. I'd like to take this moment to reiterate that these ideas are for 7 stars, and therefore if they seem a little bit broken, that's because they're intended to be. In an ideal world, the content in the game gets significantly harder over time, in order to justify new free-to-play and rare recruit units coming out that are significantly more powerful. To illustrate this, while his Captain ability stats and special have been increased, his cost has also gone up by a fair amount.
Force Boundman!
When it comes to Luffy, as well as the rest of the Straw Hats, we see a massive increase in power after the time skip. I think we will probably see multiple iterations of Luffy after the time skip, and Gear 4 will be one of those versions. I personally would really like Red Hawk Luffy to be a standalone unit and Gear 4 to come later as its own thing, whether it be a rare recruit or a raid or something similar to Legendary Whitebeard. However, for this video I am going to illustrate them together just to make it easier. The fight between Luffy and Doflamingo is actually crazy. They each sustain so much damage and the surrounding area gets completely obliterated. There's no doubt that Gear 4 Luffy is an incredibly strong form. That being said, Luffy already has a powerful form in the game. Log Luffy is arguably the strongest unit currently available. So the question becomes, how can you make Gear 4 Luffy more powerful than Log Luffy while still keeping the game in some realm of balance? Well, to start off, I don't think Gear 4 Luffy should have any sockets, or if he does have sockets, he should only have one or two. My reasoning behind this is that it's just too easy to farm Luffy sockets, and if I want to give him the truly monstrous stats, captain ability and special that he deserves, having 5 sockets would just be way too overpowered. Like Szabo, I think he should be strength type. I wanted to try and give him a different type, but I couldn't see any way you can make Gear 4 anything other than strength without making some new type. I'm still in two minds over whether he should be Freedom or Brawler, but I think Gear 4 Luffy definitely deserves the tough class. I thought about implementing some kind of downside to Gear 4 that would correlate with the amount of time he's able to use the power, but when I thought about it, Gear 3 Luffy and Gear 2 Luffy both had downsides when he used those for the first time. There were time limits, and after he used Gear 3 he turned into Little Luffy, and those aren't really reflected in the game, so I don't think it's worth reflecting the downsides to Gear 4's ability either. I wanted Gear 4 Luffy's captain ability to be grossly overpowered, but trying to find a downside to the power that isn't unfair was quite difficult. Because the Straw Hat fleet was established in Dressrosa, I wanted to integrate that into Gear 4 Luffy's captain ability. It is kind of grossly overpowered, which is what I was aiming for in a way. The only way I could think of a downside to like prevent it from being too ridiculously overpowered was to make it so that you could only heal with Tony Chopper or Trafalgar Law. I wanted Gear 4 Luffy's special to be unique to him, and I think it is. However, he can still be used in other teams, just not to the same extent that he could be used in his own. This ability would essentially boost Straw Hats by 2.4 for 2 turns. However, you would need to get a full board of food orbs 2 rounds in a row. And heal your perfect. I should say again, if these stats seem ridiculous, that's because they're supposed to be. These units are supposed to be a clear class above the 6-star units that we're used to. That's about going to be the end of the video. Remember, if you want to see more of my thoughts on these 2 units, I'm going to have a couple of links below in the description so you can check those out. And if you did like it, a thumbs up is much appreciated. But that's going to do it for this week. Hopefully we'll have another video just like this up very soon, and I'll see you all next time.